Hi friends. Well, this video is going to be a little different because I had planned to do a voiceover because the kids were taking piano lessons at the time that I was making the pickles. So I was trying to accomplish everything at once. But as I was beginning to edit this video, I was intrigued and fascinated by the sounds that the kitchen process, the pickling process, the watermelon pickle making process, just being in the kitchen, the sounds that made. And I thought, that's really a popular thing these days to have this kind of video. I forget what they call it, ASMR, AMSR. Anyway, y'all, I thought you might be fascinated with the sounds as well. So you're going to find the recipe. I'll tell you later in the video where you're going to find the recipe, but I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know what you think, and thanks for being here.
Hello, my friends. How are y'all doing? I'm Miss Katie. This is Heritage Ways, and here I like to show you how to make a cozy home with old-fashioned values. Quite honestly, that is what my passion is. Well, today I want to show you how I make watermelon pickles. Some people call them watermelon rind pickles. It is a labor of love. I'm not going to lie to you. It does take a few steps. And I'm going to show you how much it makes, how many pints it makes. I'm going to share the recipe with you. I'm going to tell you where you can get the recipe. And I'm also going to share about these new, fairly new, the past year or two, canning lids that are on the market, superb canning lids. I'm going to tell you what I think about them and tell you how to use them, because if you use them the wrong way, they're going to fail. So there's a right and a wrong way. So stay tuned. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this video with your friends and family members who also enjoy creating a cozy home. Y'all, I have two cookbooks that I like for pickles, relishes, that kind of thing. I have more than this, but these are my primary two. Pickles and relishes. Andrea Chessman is the author of this one. And then this one is old-time pickling and spicing recipes. And I literally found this in Goodwill or an antique store or something. Florence Brobeck. This one I like to use, but it's got some unique recipes in it as well. But this, they call it watermelon pickle in here. This is one of the most popular of all old-time pickles. And so it talks about preparing the watermelon rind with the salt and the cold water. And this one also says the same thing. They call these watermelon rind pickles, which is probably more accurate. And again, salt and water. This calls for pickling salt, but y'all, you can use regular salt. And when I say regular, I'm meaning you don't have to use pickling salt to make pickles or to can. You can use, I use Redmond real salt. That's all I use for any salt needs in my home. All right, so what I'm going to do tonight is simply to cut this watermelon and separate the three parts of the watermelon, and I will make a separate video and of how I'm going to cut that if you're curious or interested, and I will tag that video up here above. I will probably also put it in the description box, so I will not include the cutting of the watermelon in this particular video. So make sure if you want to see further, like in depth or whatever, then check out that extra video that I'm going to make. Anyway, I'm going to have my watermelon rind. That is not the green outer portion. It is not the red or pink, sometimes yellow flesh inside that you would eat. It is the white or the very, very light green, typically the white portion of the watermelon. And I'm going to put that in the salted water overnight. And that's what I'm doing tonight. So Pour it over in there. There you go. Okay, perfect. Seven, 8. So 8 cups, because I'm going to go in between the 2 recipes here. So 8 cups. You could probably do 6.
potato juice.
All right, the verdict. Okay, my recipe, I doubled the recipe. By the way, you can find that recipe link in the description box of this video. You can find that link. It will send you to my website and you will have a printable recipe you can print off for your homekeeping book or your recipe book or however you maintain your home. All right, here I'm telling you, when I said it's a labor of love, it is several steps and you don't get a lot. You don't get, several jars, but I did double the recipe and I got these 5 pint jars. If you wanted to do the half pints, you could get more. So it cooks down, and you also need to leave these in the jar. Don't just open them up and start eating them. You need to leave them in the jar for, I don't know, a month or two at least, so it can absorb all that delicious flavor. The extra liquid brine that I had left over, I'm actually have a small watermelon, so I will make one recipe. And a note about that, the recipe I'm going to share with you, what I did is I doubled the recipe. I will share with you the single recipe, if that makes sense. So I had about 14 or so, around 14, give or take a little bit, of cups of raw watermelon rind to start with. And that was one watermelon, which I would call a pretty decent size, not a small one. And so that was 14 cups that I had, and then it ended up 10. So technically it ended up cooking down to about 10 cups of rind, which would become pickles. So the recipe, I doubled it, but when I'm writing it for y'all, it's going to be a single recipe. So actually, I'm going to use that leftover brine and make another single recipe because I have a small watermelon. Now, here's the thing about the Superb lids. These, I've talked about these a little bit with some folks, and they said, well, why do I need to buy them? Who cares? What's the difference? Okay, my number one reason for buying these is they are not only made in the USA, but they are made about 45 minutes from my house, from start to finish, from the engineer, the designer of these things. I've talked with him. I'm so very impressed with the company's philosophies, their beliefs, their strengths, and I've talked with the engineer, the designer of these, and he and I talk often about the lids, and I'm just first of all impressed with, I'm going to say, the Made in USA, because I don't know of another lid that is made in the USA. I know Ball is not. I know 4 Jars is not. I verified that with the company, and they did tell me that it is indeed made in China. So just know that. There are a lot of influencers and homesteaders who want you to try out the 4 Jars. That is up to you. You make your own choices. But these are strictly, completely created, engineered, designed, made, packaged, the whole bit, right down the road from me. Also, I'm not a science person, so I can't get into all the sciencey reasons. I hope to talk with the Superb folks soon and maybe bring you part of that content where they can share with you the science, the science reasons and the physics and all of why the product is better. I can tell you it is a heavier lid than the others that I've always used. It feels heavier a little bit if you're holding it in your hand, comparing it to the others. It does have the blue seal, so that is an indication it's the Superb lid. None of the ones that I have seen or I own have the word Superb stamped on them, so I'm not quite sure if it's supposed to, or if it will in the future or not. It indicates that on the lid. That's why I'm pointing that out. I mean on the box. That's why I'm pointing that out. The sealant compound is a little thicker, more substantial. Many of us have noticed lately the leading brand, if you will, the Ball jar, the Ball lids are becoming just less reliable, and they're becoming unsealed sooner than they're supposed to, and the sealant is not as thick as it used to be. And also it's just dripping off the sides and it's messy. There's just a lot of things wrong with that lid nowadays, I've noticed. Also, this company, I think, started out of out of the shortage that folks had. And that's how the company started a year or two ago. The sound itself, the sealing sound is a deeper tone. So it's not the high-pitched ping. So it is a deeper tone. And so that is different, and that has something to do with the science of how it seals better. Also, I did show you, I showed you, but I have to emphasize this. If you put the seals on, the rings on too tight, or even tight at all, in my opinion, it's not going to work. Okay, so I had a family member to tell me the other day that she tried these a year or so ago, and she didn't think she tightened it too much, but then she opened her canner and there was the rings and the lids floating. Now that was not a Superb problem, that was tightening them too much. Okay, I have found that, it even feels like it's not, you wonder to yourself, wait, how is that even going to work? I barely even put the ring on. That's how it feels. So the 3 fingers I showed you that earlier in this video, and literally you're just going to take the ring and then just put it on until it stops turning. Not tight at all. I have used these lids a lot now. I've been canning with these lids a lot. I can tell you that is the secret, and that's something you're going to have to get used to. Okay, and we'll learn more about that, hopefully, Lord willing, on a future video when we talk to the Superb folks. And so these are safe for water bath or pressure canning. They are FDA compliant. They have no PBA. So there's a lot of good reasons to use. They have several layers in the lid. So many other things we can talk about later. But I will tell you, I am pleased with these. And I don't share things with y'all unless I really believe in the products that I'm sharing. So I'm not, I just want to be honest and real with y'all. So what I'm going to do, there is a link. I don't have a discount code for you at this time, but I do have a layman's link that you can use, and I'll put it in the description box as well, and you can go to that layman's link and check these out. So just know that you're supporting a completely, it's a USA, even a right down the road from Miss Katie product when you are purchasing and trying these out. Yeah, so here we go. Our Superb lids, watermelon pickles. They're going to be so delicious. I'll wash these, label them. I will not store them with the ring on. And I do want to say one last thing. I know you've seen me in the past use vinegar to clean the rims of the jars. I've only done that maybe 3 to 4 canning session times, but I have learned that that actually deteriorates that rubber seal, causes it to unseal sooner than it should, and you don't want that. So you don't want that deterioration. So just hot water is sufficient for wiping that rim, and in my opinion, and the research I've read, you do not have to use vinegar to clean it. So that is it for today. I hope you're counting your blessings, and I'm thrilled to be here with y'all. I welcome you into my home, and I just hope that you will tell others about Heritage Ways, and we can grow the community and share. Count your blessings, and I will see you next time, Lord willing. Have a great day.